Hey everybody, I'm here today with an unboxing. I don't do a lot of unboxings, but and I wasn't planning on doing one today, but as it was, I was at Barnes and Noble. I just stopped in there. I haven't really stopped in Barnes and Noble in quite some time, and I was out running some errands. And I decided to stop in there, and they had a nice little selection, actually, of tarot decks. I think the last time I stopped in at that particular location was probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And they really had like three decks, right? But this time, I guess they had a pretty good order, and they had a lot of new metaphysical books and things like that, which is good to see because I don't know, excuse my ugly nails. I don't know why, but it's been years now. Barnes and Noble and those big bookstores like that, they really pulled back on their metaphysical selection and took it down to the bare minimum, which sucked. But I want to say there was a time like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when their metaphysical section, I know at least at the Barnes and Noble I used to shop down south when I lived in Orlando, it was amazing. And I would buy most of my decks there. I mean, yeah, Amazon's a thing, and it was a thing then, but I used to buy the majority of my decks at Barnes and Noble, right? And then, like I said, they pulled back for with no warning, which was rude. And they suddenly had nothing, and they went from everything to nothing, and it was so disappointing because I used to spend a lot of hours and time in Barnes and Noble. I just love bookstores, period. Like, I absolutely love bookstores. It's one of my favorite places to hang out. But they had pulled back so much that I stopped really hanging out in Barnes and Noble. So that's sad. And I was glad to walk in there today and find these in particular because I had seen someone on YouTube reading with this deck of cards, but I had no idea what the deck was called, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I can find them somewhere. And I have a very good friend who's a tarot detective. She may be watching, and I usually turn to her with pictures and screenshots of decks that I don't know the name of, and she comes back with the information. But I hadn't had time to reach out to her regarding this. So when I happened to walk in there and I saw this box, and I picked up the box because it looked interesting. And then when I flipped it over and saw these images, I knew that was the deck that I had been looking for. So I was almost let out a little squeal of delight in the middle of a very quiet Barnes and Noble. Anyways, so I picked it up speedily. It was only $17.99 at the Barnes and Noble. So, I was surprised by that too. Like, just a nice deck that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, right? And there's certain decks that I vibe with the art a lot. And sometimes it's a very complicated art, and sometimes it's a very simple art. In this case, it looks to be very simple. But it's called the Tattoo Tarot, Ink and Intuition. I'm not a person that's into tattoos, so I don't even know what compelled me to pick up this box, but I'm glad that I did. And yeah, so let's get to the unboxing. It came like this box did not have shrink wrap, the plastic wrapping over it in the store. So I don't know if you were to order it from another vendor, if it would come shrink wrapped or not, but I bought it this way, just so you know. My nails are awful. I apologize. But I think we'll get through the video anyways. All right. So the book, very, very thin, as you can see. And looks to be very, very basic. So if it has a few spreads here. But if the book is really important to you, like really, really important, you may be a little disappointed, although it is full color. Um, but you know, I never pay attention to the book. The deck has to be different in some significant way for me to really pay attention to the book. That's just me. And half the time I never keep up with the boxes. I stick my decks into cloths and bags all the time, and I don't have half of my boxes that belong to my decks. But I know that's important to some people. I don't know what you call this type of box, but it is very, very sturdy. Okay. The cards also are not shrink wrapped. Like I said, they came this way in my Barnes and Noble. Perhaps someone already opened it. I'm not sure. And that's why the plastic wrap is missing. But yeah. So let me slip off this little tube here. And yes. All right. So one of the things that I most like about this deck, and these are the backs. One of the things I most like about this deck is the off-white coloring. It's like, it's not white. It's a creamy white shade. Okay. And I really liked that contrast, and especially looks good to me up against this red. Like there was something that really appealed. Let's look at the paper stock. The cards have a nice slide to them. They're not over slippery, but they have a nice slide, and the thickness, yeah, it's good. It's good. So nice cardstock there. But yeah, there's no kind of glossy coated finish on them. They're just smooth. And like I said, I love the color. So let's dig into the cards and go from there. So I'll just do a quick flip through and probably won't say much unless I come across a card that really strikes me. Looks like the pips are, you know, they're not fully illustrated like they would be in the Rider-Waite, but I have a lot of experience reading and also experience reading with this non-illustrated type of pip card. So in certain decks, it does bother me when they're not fully designed out like in the Rider-Waite, but then other decks it does not bother me. I do not think it will bother me in this deck. I love the vibrancy of the color. It's kind of vibrant and muted at the same time. Love it. It almost looks like someone just drew these, like you're handling someone's artwork. I really love the feel of the cards too. So this, I can already tell you guys, I'm going to have a wonderful time with this deck. Oh my gosh. You know, I get so excited. Like I bought a new deck recently, actually last week. And I kind of bought it on a whim. It was coming out brand new. Let me just look at the name of it so I can tell you real quick. Okay, it's called the Beauty of Horror Tarot. You know, and I like little kitschy kind of decks, and it kind of had a horror film kind of feel to it. Sorry, someone's calling me. Anyways, it had this, and I guess they have coloring books and stuff like that out. So I bought it off of Amazon, and it wasn't much money. But when I got the deck, it's cute, but I wasn't excited. Like, I wasn't excited. I don't know how much I'll use it. But this deck, I can tell you right now, is exciting me. All right, so this deck, the pages are knaves. So we have the Knave of Swords. Yeah, this, you know what it is? Their eyes are so expressive. It puts me in the mind of, if you're familiar with the new Palladini Tarot. Oh my gosh. not exactly like this, but the very expressive eyes and facial expressions of the people on the cards is what it's reminding me of that. And I love the new Palladini Tarot. Like when I read with that deck, especially like in personal readings for clients and friends, they're always like, oh my gosh, you went so deep. And it's like, yes, I get so much from their expression in their eyes while I'm doing a reading with a question on the table. So this, I'm sure, when I saw the reader that I saw reading with these and I saw the cards, I was like, oh my God, I would get so much out of those cards. And holding them in my hands, I can tell you, yes, I absolutely will. Okay. Even for basically non-illustrated pips, there's quite a bit in here as far as color and design that is good. I feel like if you either haven't had a lot of, if you are into tarot and reading, if you haven't had a lot of experience with the non-illustrated pips, you might be able to do this. Like if this was going to be your first non-illustrated pip card deck, this might be where you want to go, because I feel like you could get stuff out of this. Like there's a lot here with these color and this very simple design that's coming through. But I know, like, if that's not what you're used to, it's a scary thing to think about reading with non-illustrated pips. I can't, and I'm also bad with the name of decks, but I think it was the Marseille deck I had for so long. Many years ago when I first started reading. It was not my first deck, of course, but one of the initial decks. And look at that Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness. Yes. But yeah, that Marseille deck was one of the, I would say in my tarot journey, it was one of the first 5 decks that I owned. And so I started pretty early on reading with non-illustrated pips. And so I kind of didn't even know that was a thing that people were so afraid of. So it was a little, I can't lie, it was a little bit at first to get used to, but yeah, I never really had a problem with it. I can do it. And plus, of course, I read with playing cards. So yeah, you get a non-illustrated pip is more imagery than what's on an actual playing card. So he looks pretty intense. Page of Wands. Look at this Knight of Wands. Woo. Okay. The Queen is, yeah, she's the things that they talk about with the Queen of Wands. Yes, she is. Look at that King. He looks so nice. Like you just wanna meet him and know him. Ignore me, y'all. I don't know why you're putting up with that. Oh wow, Ace of Coins. Gorgeous. All right. Like I said, lots of imagery here in the card, even though for the most part it's a non-illustrated pip, right? Yeah, love it. Look at that 5 of coins and that skull in the middle coin. Wow. Yes, see, you can get stuff out of this. I am going to absolutely love this card. I can't tell how well the color is coming through on camera, but like I said, these are not a white background. It's a cream colored background, and it is really a nice change. I I can't say that I've seen that color as a background on tarot cards. I mean, there may be a deck or two out there, but for the most part, you do not see that color, and it is really striking with these gorgeous greens and reds and yellows that they're using in the deck. Okay, look at that Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, yes. All right, so the majors, and they're in here backwards, so we're starting with the World. Yes, look at her. Oh my goodness. Judgment. Yes. See? Oh my gosh. And like I said, I had only seen a few of these cards online when I saw someone reading with them. So of course, if someone's doing a reading, you don't see each and every card. But oh my goodness, these are gorgeous. I'm so glad. I just decided to go ahead and buy them. This, oh, look at Death. Wow. Yes. I'm so glad I bought this. This is good. This is going to be great. I can't wait to give a reading. Yes, you guys might be seeing these, especially in my lives. Look at the Lovers. Goodness. You guys may be seeing them so much you get sick of them. I am in love. Look at the Empress. Yes. Oh, this is one of my cards that can make or break a deck. The High Priestess, and I had not seen it in this deck. I love her. Yes, I love her. Look at the Magician. That is bold looking. Oh, the color. Beautiful. Huh. The Fool. Yes. Love it. Oh, they're a little out of order. The Emperor. Strength. The Tower. And the Devil. Wow, look at the Devil. Oh my God, I'm going to have to, since they were a little out of order, I don't know, that kind of suggests to me someone messed with it in the store. So I'm going to have to go through and make sure they're all accounted for, put them in order. But look at that Devil. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So again, once again, that is the Tattoo Tarot. So glad I bought these for myself. So wonderful. So wonderful. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.